So during this COVID-19 national emergency and our Michigan stay home, stay safe order, there's been a lot of rules in place, guidelines in place, in some cases even laws put in place to try to keep us safer. And one of those is social distancing, which, by the way, doesn't work. It just doesn't. None of our buildings were designed for social distancing. Making money at a business doesn't work with social distancing. At a certain point, people are not going to deal with social distancing. You already see it. People are still having parties at their house, birthday parties, graduation parties, whatever. But then, you'll go walking through the neighborhood and you'll see two neighbors talking to each other through the window. One will be in the yard, one will be at the window. They're exercising social distancing, right? But then the next house, they're having a party. And the face shields. I'll get to that in a minute. So there's a capacity limit in buildings in Michigan based on the square footage and some other stuff, I think. And at my local Meijers, I think it's either 300 or 600 people. And there were a lot more than 600 people in the building. They had a person out there counting, clicking off their little clicker, but I really don't think they were, what are they going to do? Tell people, sorry, you can't come in? They'll get mobbed. I mean, it ain't their job. They're not cops. There's no security. There's no protection for the employees. I mean, recently we had somebody, I guess, in Flint get told they couldn't come into the store without a mask. So they went home and told somebody, friends, relatives, something, and they came back to exact their revenge. That wasn't somebody standing up for civil liberties. That was nothing more than a crime in the ghetto, like a drive-by shooting in Chicago. That's all it really was. It was a revenge crime. It had nothing to do with politics or COVID-19. That's the sort of thing that would happen in the ghetto. And by the way, I'm still not afraid to go to Flint. But you got, if you're the person at the door with that stupid counter just doing what they tell you to do, you got to be thinking about things like that. Do I want to tick off the wrong person? Not that I live in a dangerous neighborhood. I don't. It's a fairly civilized neighborhood. But that's got to be in the back of your mind if that's your job. And as far as social distancing, it just wasn't happening in the store. The store is very big, but there were just crowds of people. People last minute Mother's Day gift shopping because they can't go anywhere else. The mall is still closed. The department stores are still closed. Not everybody shops in advance online at Amazon. A lot of people are last minute loosies. If you try to get something from Amazon right now, you'll be lucky if it gets delivered in 2 weeks. So I took care of all that stuff in advance. So I was good, but I was there for groceries, but it still doesn't matter. That's the only place you can go to go shop. So people are there's going to be a crowd there. These idiots in charge, our idiot governor, didn't think about that sort of thing. If you limit the number of places people go to, they'll still congregate in there. And then she comes up with this goofy plan. We'll just limit the number of people in there. They're not stopping that. Now getting back to the face coverings. Out of all the people there, the entire time I was there, I was counting how many people weren't wearing a mask. 65 were not wearing a mask, including 2 who had a mask on but took it off. I didn't count the people who were wearing the mask only over their mouth and not their nose, or wearing it sideways so they still had their mouth uncovered, which is just kind of weird. If I did that, the number would be significantly higher. It's like you guys who say, I shoot isosceles because I want to make a bigger target because I'll be wearing body armor and they'll aim center mass if I go isosceles. Okay, how often are you going to be wearing body armor? Unless it's your job, like your law enforcement or security, or you're going into a place where you think it's going to be necessary, how often are you wearing body armor? So you're purposely going to stand in a stance that makes you a bigger target because you're going to be ready for them. It's the same safety net feeling you get with a mask. With this mask, I can go into anything and I will not get sick. Just use some common sense, people. So it's kind of ridiculous, the things you see. I mean, if you really want to go, if you're bored, if you're sick of being stuck at home and you're bored, go to the department store and watch the aisles, watch the rows of people going all the way back into the hardware department and the pet food department, and watch the people walking by. Because of social distancing, there's a gap and they don't look to the left and they see, oh, there's an open aisle. or open register, and they turn to the register, and then they hear a which could be hazardous to your health, by the way. Or they hear, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am, and they turn around and they see 20 people in line behind them. And the shock, it's like, all right, yes, I got, aw, you know, or whatever. As one guy we were talking, he goes, their dreams were shattered. It is. It's funny to watch. And I keep seeing this over and over again at the stores. Not that they have lines every day, but when they do, I see this over and over again. These people that are oblivious. So it's just, it's comical. These feel-good measures and how invincible people feel because they have their stupid mask over their face, or just the fact that they go, we'll counter this with social distancing and limiting the number of people, and it doesn't happen. It's just, and what are they going to do? Arrest everybody in the store? Really? So it's a joke. This whole thing, the way we're handling this COVID-19 thing, it's a joke. And in the beginning, I was laughing about this, and I'm going to be laughing about this at the end.